Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Betty and this is my fourth video dealing with the narcissist and how they coincide to demonic spirits. I want to ask, what if the narcissistic spirit is so prevalent in today's society due to disobedience to the Most High? Because anyone you know or that has come in contact with a narcissist, they all say that it's so prevalent now. It's common. It's so common, for someone to be a narcissist, almost as common as the last name Smith. So I just wonder, is it possible that society is so embedded with narcissists due to disobedience? The disobedience, the spirit of disobedience, is spiritual separation from the Most High. It's loss of peace. It's strained relationships with authority figures, peers, and loved ones. So I'm really wondering if this is the reason why narcissist and narcissism is so common today. The root causes of disobedience is pride, the belief that one's judgment is superior to that of the authority. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm sitting here. Okay, let's go on. So usually, from my experience, a narcissist is not inherently evil. Usually, they don't just start out, let's do bad, mean things to people. Usually, it's something that happens to them over a length of time. That changes their nature into that of a narcissist. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, all narcissists ain't evil." I beg to differ. I do. I believe some people that are narcissists may not know they're narcissists, but they know they're not right. I didn't know anything about narcissism, like I said, until like 12 years ago. I just knew that there had to be a medical term for, some of the personality traits that I was seeing. It was completely terrible. Derogatory, always putting people down, always being mean, nasty, just for the sake of being mean, nasty, and putting people down. So when I typed in the characteristics, personality characteristics, narcissistic personality disorder came up. So I beg to differ that people they aren't aware. Maybe they don't know, hey, I'm a narcissist, but they got to know something is wrong. I remember years ago attending church, and I remember the pastor said, he told us to count down to 5 people. Count down 5 people, and one of them people within that 5 is mentally ill. Maybe not completely crazy, but mental health issues. Well, narcissism is a personality disorder, and it's mental. So I come to believe that because of my experience with narcissists, that they are evil. I don't think they carry anything dealing with the spirit of the Most High. So if you are, usually narcissists, they lie, they exaggerate situations to, make people believe they're right. So my thing is, if you are doing evil things to a person, even if it's behind their back, that's not of the spirit of the Most High. You're living on somebody else's spirit, on something else's spirit. The Most High is too holy to dwell. I'm sorry, it's hot. To dwell in the spirit of a being of a narcissist. He abandons that spirit. He will abandon that evil spirit. They eventually become the vessel of something dark, a dark force or something unforeseen. So if a person willingly abandons the righteousness of the Most High, give up trying to avoid living in sin, how can the Most High be an active force in that person's life? So automatically to me, that puts them in a category of evil. I don't believe there's in between. I don't believe there's gray. I think it's black and white. You either are or you're not. That's me. My opinion is just my opinion. My opinion is due to personal experience. So I am the kind of person that believes the foundation of relationships, buildings, and even belief systems are built on, if they are built on lies, deceit, and trickery, how embedded can the Most High be in either of those things that I mentioned? My personal opinion is I've studied the foundation of Christianity and what it was built on. And one of the main lies in Christianity, they say, God has a son, and his name is Jesus or Yahushua. But the Bible itself and the word of the Most High at Isaiah 43:11 says, there is no Savior but me. So it's kind of like, okay, well, who are you going to believe? The people that gave us the New Testament and Christianity, or are you going to believe what the Most High said? The Most High himself said, there is no Savior but me. I tend to believe the Most High's word over what someone has given us. So I'm going to pose the question, what if the commonality of narcissism is rising in our society due to disobedience? If the Most High leaves a person, and I've personally seen that happen, wouldn't that leave that person to be motivated by a spirit that is not of the Most High? Let me explain to you what I mean when I say I've literally seen this happen. Since I was little, since I was a young girl, I always had dreams, visions, certain things that happened to me. And I remember waking up screaming and hollering, and and my sister would be scared. She would be telling me to shut up, because I think my hollering, scared her. So I always saw things, and I remember my dad one time telling me that I was born with a veil. I didn't know what a veil was. So I asked him, and he said a veil is something that some people are born with, that they can see things that other people can't see. They hear things that other people can't hear. Their experience is kind of like they have access to a spiritual world that many people can't see. After a while, I remember when I was, after my mother died, I went to see a psychic because I was just lost. I needed to know something, and I gave her my date of birth, my birth date, and all that. And she looked up my time of birth, and she asked me do I have dreams and stuff? And I told her I did. Well, she told me it's possible. She told me that when you have dreams and visions, can you hear? Well, when I have dreams and visions, I can hear, I can see, I can talk. I can do all that. I can even feel things. So she said, have you ever heard of, well, for one thing, she said, let me train you. I don't want nobody training me, because what I get is just dreams. I can't control my dreams. I can't say, hey, come to me and dream tonight. I can't do that. So I told her no. Whatever gift I have, I'll leave it as is. So she asked me, in the biblical sense of it, have I ever heard of a seer? At the time, no, I had not. I hadn't heard of a seer. So after she gave me all this information, I started looking it up and came to understand it. So now I'm going to fast forward. Some years back, my second granddaughter was, I think she was like 2. And me and my daughter and my granddaughter were going, we were going to the store. We were going somewhere. I don't remember where. But we took the back area of our house. It's a real scenic route. And we like that route because it's no hustle and bustle of people, rushing to get here and there. It's just the scenery is let me see, it's trees and really. Okay, sorry about that interruption. So I had to leave. Okay, where was I? Oh, me and my daughter and my granddaughter, we were going to I think it was a store, but we took the back street because it was scenery. It was, really pretty scenery. It was quiet and laid back. And as we were driving, we got around, the area where it was really, trees and really big, pretty trees. And just out of the corner of my eye, I saw something in the tree. It looked like the figure of a man, but it was transparent. If you've ever seen The Predator, that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of that. I saw it real quick up in the tree, and then I didn't see it, but I came to an abrupt stop because I was driving. My daughter was on the passenger side, and her little girl was on the passenger side on the behind her. She was in the car seat. She was 2. She's going to turn 16, so that's how long ago it was. And when I saw whatever I saw in the tree, I came to an abrupt stop. And just as I came to this abrupt stop, when I say part of the tree fell, it wasn't a branch. It was part of the tree. It literally fell right in front of us. And had I not stopped, my daughter and my granddaughter wouldn't be here today. But, and there was a woman behind me driving, and she asked me, because we got out of the car because we obviously couldn't, go right around it right then. But my daughter, because it almost hit her, and my granddaughter was really shaken up about it. So we got out of the car, and the lady behind me, she came to an abrupt stop because I had to come to an abrupt stop. And she asked me, why did I stop? What made you stop? And I told her I saw something. I saw something in the trees, but I don't know what I saw. It just looked like a big figure of a man. It was transparent. So that got my attention and caused me to come to an abrupt stop. So when we got home, my daughter was telling her father and, her brothers what happened. And, she was still shaken up about it. She was really emotional about it. And her father kind of played it off, kind of like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was probably just a branch. Well, it wasn't a branch. It was like part of a tree. So some months later, because it was to the point where it was around the time I was getting ready to leave. It was in 2015. Me and him were arguing, and he was upset because I said that I was going to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. I was no longer going to celebrate holidays. I was no longer going to cook anything dealing with pork. I was going to follow the laws, and he was really upset about that. there were some days I had to spend my Sabbath in the closet because we had a pretty big closet, you know. So I had to spend my days a lot of times in the closet so, I could get peace. I would have to put blankets, and we had a pretty big closet. I would have to put blankets in there, get my drinks and my little snacks, and I would sit in the closet and I would sit with my back against it so my feet were, kind of against the wall to keep him from coming out. So he got really upset that day because I said I wasn't cooking. I think it might have been around July the 4th, if I'm not mistaken, because he wanted ribs. And I said I wasn't touching them. I wasn't cooking it. I wasn't doing any of it. So he got really upset and he was cussing me out and calling me names. And I remember he picked up a Bible and he threw it at me. And when he did that, he was saying I will never follow the law. I ain't never following no laws, because he was telling me to follow the law. I was cursed, because the New Testament said you ain't supposed to follow the laws. So evidently I even had an issue with it even back then. So I was telling him I'm gonna follow him regardless of what you do. So he got upset. He threw a Bible at me. He said he will never follow anything the Most High say. He will never give up pork. I'm gonna eat what I want to eat. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what I need to do. And when he said that, I'm sorry, I don't know what it is out here. Something, that same thing that I saw up in that tree, because he was going off. He was acting up that day. I saw what I saw in that tree. It seemed like it separated from him. And I remember him going off and cussing, and I remember me staring at him kind of with my mouth open because I had never seen that. And when I did that, it made him feel like I was staring at him and doing this and that. So he was really going at it then, calling me all kind of names. But what I saw was, I think I saw a spirit of protection leave him. So I know for a fact it can happen, because after that, since we were together, it seemed like stuff would always happen in our house, spiritual stuff. And now I'm really kind of wondering if that was due to the spirits that he carried on him, not even realizing it. The narcissism and the spirits connected to it. So when I saw that, I knew for a fact, because at first I was kind of puzzled as to what I saw in that tree. What was that? After I saw that, I was pretty much sure it was a protective spirit protecting us, because had that not been seen in that tree, my daughter would not be here today, neither would my granddaughter, because it would have hit on their side because I was driving. And so I know, you can lose the spirit, the protection of the Most High. I know you can. I've seen it. And after that, he just really seemed to, after I left, he seemed to go off into, dark things that I wouldn't, building an altar and that kind of thing. I remember he did tell me, though, he said after I left, he was having a hard time, so he prayed and he asked if God was real or if Satan was real to show themselves. And he said, God didn't show himself. But I'm thinking, and I guess the other one did. So I'm thinking, but why would he? The stuff you were saying, so I'll never forget that. But after that, I don't know, to me it seemed like he lost his mind. He would say stuff like, all these years I was praying and thinking God was blessing me. I did all this on my own. So, they give over to dark spirits willingly after a while, whether they know they're doing it or not. After a while, it seemed like it was willing. So, you know, a lot of the ways, you know, we raised our children, and to treat people right, try not to sin. Now he was saying, oh, there's no such thing as sin. There's no such thing as sin. Okay, I don't know what to say, but I do know that the Spirit of the Most High can leave. And my guess is a willing, if you're dealing with a willingness to not do righteousness, and you would be probably the perfect candidate for that. So I'm going to invite everybody to get in their Bibles, pay attention to the things people do and say. After being married to a narcissist, I pay close attention to things that people say, things they do, things they like. I pay very close attention to it because I won't waste my time anymore, Life is too short to have spent so much time living in a narcissistic relationship and then a long time to build yourself back up from it. So I would ask everybody to pray and ask that the Most High give you discernment and strength to go on and, live in His will. If you have to leave a person behind, leave them behind. But follow the will of the Most High. And with that, I'm going to close today, and I thank you for joining me. Stay favored.